Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanzil Mirza. Today we'll take one more step towards a cleaner code base. But what is a clean code? Well, in simple terms, a clean code is a code with reduced complexity, with less vulnerabilities, no code duplication, no security loopholes, major security loopholes, easy to understand and easy to maintain. So that's what a clean code should look like. But as a human being, we all are bound to make mistakes, and software development is one such scenario. So, what happens when a team, which is comprised of several developers, work on a single project? They all push their code into the same repository, and they all have their own coding styles. But we developers are bound to make mistakes. But almost always, no matter what the programming language is, there is always a compiler or some sort of engine at least which detects those mistakes and display error messages accordingly. We know that. But compiler can detect syntactical errors only, like missing semicolon, or maybe a package which is not imported, a missing package you can say, or maybe calling a method that doesn't even exist, or maybe a misspelled variable, whatnot. So that's fine, compiler is there for you and it will do its job, it will complain. But there are few things that a compiler cannot detect. It will never complain about that. For example, there is a code smell in your code. By code smell I mean a code which is okay for a compiler, but it is not good from the let's say formatting you can say, or it's not good for the maintainability point of view. So for example, there is a method in your code, okay, and that method is just lying there and with no use at all, it is not being called anywhere, or a variable that is unused, or maybe an empty constructor, or maybe some logic being copy pasted in different files or same file. So in all these cases, in all the above cases, compiler will work absolutely fine. It will compile your code and will never complain about anything. However, it may throw a warning, but nothing can stop you from pushing your code to the repository, and compilation process will also be successful. So such practices will make our code base as spaghetti. So that's where we need some tool to enforce these checks every time we push our code into the repository. So Sonar Cloud is one such tool. There is one thing called Sonar Cube, but that will require some local setup, so I'm avoiding it. So I'll be using Sonar Cloud in this tutorial. So Sonar Cloud is a code quality assurance tool which analyzes our source code for possible bugs, code smells, and vulnerabilities. It measures the quality of our code on different parameters. So once integrated with our GitHub repository, it will run automatically for every pull request which is raised. It will, you can say, it will give us the health report of our new code. And if it finds any bug or something weird in our code, so it will not allow us to merge our PR until and unless we resolve those things. So that's how Sonar Cloud enforces us to maintain a clean code base. It's a cloud-based static code analyzer and an automatic code reviewer you can say. So let me show you a screenshot of the analysis report given by, let me go to the slideshow. Yeah, okay. So here you can see there is a report generated by Sonar Cube. So for now it is Sonar Cube. This screenshot is from Sonar Cube, but we'll be using Sonar Cloud. But the UI and this analysis report will be the same. It is going to be the same, so it doesn't matter. So this is how you will get, and for each repository or for each project you can get an analysis report like this. So how many bugs, let's say we have an application called Hello World and we are analyzing it, how many bugs it has, vulnerabilities, hotspot reviewed, code smells, code coverage. This is the code coverage, percentage or amount of code that is covered with the unit tests. So and duplications and which language it is using, Java, JSP, JavaScript, CSS. Like here you can see 25.2% duplication. So that's how the report is generated. It will show which is passed, like you can say Spring Alien is failed. So that's how it enforces us to follow some conventions. So this is how a report is generated. So today we'll set up this entire workflow right from the GitHub till the Sonar Cloud from the scratch for an Angular application. So for this we have one prerequisite. That's pretty simple. The only prerequisite is that you should have a GitHub account. That's it. So we'll do this for an Angular project. Even if you are using any other programming language like Java or React, anything, so you can continue with this demo as there is nothing specific to Angular. As I already said, you just need one thing, that is this GitHub account. So let's get into the coding now. Let me create a new Angular project and we will push it to GitHub. Enable Sonar scan on the repository and see how it works. So let's generate an Angular project. But before that, let me go back to GitHub, create one repository there. Oops, spelling mistake. GitHub. So I have successfully logged in. Now I'll generate the project. I'll open a terminal, navigate into documents, and the very own command ng new. I'll call this project Superheroes. No, I don't need any routing, and then let it be a simple CSS only. So the project is created. Since this is not an Angular video, I'll not touch anything here in this project for now, and I'll simply push all the files. Okay, first I'll show you the files. CD Superheroes, and then I'll open this in code editor. Okay, for now I'll not touch any file, just close this, will come out. Okay, but before that, let's create one repository here also. Okay, and just create it. Okay, once done, we can push the existing code using these commands. We already have the code, we'll just use these commands one by one. So instead of typing it, I'll just copy this. I'll do it from the terminal itself, and then the next command is git branch -m, pushing it to the main. Now I'll push it to the main branch, git push origin main, the credentials, code is pushed. Let me refresh GitHub, and there we go. Yeah, we have got our code here. So now the next step is to connect Sonar with this repo. We can easily integrate Sonar with our GitHub account as a whole for all the repositories, but just to keep it simple, we'll do it for one particular repository only, that is this repository, Superheroes only. So let's now move to the Sonar Cloud. What I'll do, I'll just go to new tab and type sonarcloud.io. I'll not press login, I'll not press explore, I'll click on this GitHub button, and here it is asking me to authenticate or authorize SonarCloud. Okay, so you can read this text. SonarCloud would like permission to verify your GitHub identity and know which resources you can access. I'll just do this authorize SonarCloud. Maybe it will ask for the password also, or okay, it did not. As you can see, I do not have, it's a fresh account, I do not have anything to be analyzed yet, so that's why it is showing me import projects from GitHub or analyze your first projects. I'll go to my project and you can see you don't have any projects yet. Okay, let's leave it like this for now. First let me show you something. Right now if I go back to the GitHub and if I go to the settings, then applications, and this authorize GitHub apps, so I can see the SonarCloud. From here I can revoke the rights, but since we have authorized while logging into the SonarCloud, that's why this got added here. Okay, so I'll go back to the repository. Yeah, okay, so I don't have any project to be analyzed yet, no project is being analyzed yet. So what I'll do, I can just click on this plus icon, or I can analyze a new project from here itself. So for now I'll just click here and I'll do analyze new project. This option and this option are exactly the same. I'll click here, just it's my habit to open a new project, analyze a new project from there, that's why I did it. Now it is asking for this thing, an organization. Click on that. I have two organizations, but for now my repository is in that superhero repository is in TM Tanzil, so I'll click here. Okay, now here it is asking all the repositories. As I told you, you can integrate this SonarCloud for the entire GitHub account for all the repositories or the selected repositories only. So I'll select only selected repositories, and from this drop down list I'm going to select only superheroes. It should pop up here, and then I'll do the install. Okay, the key is TM Tanzil, that is okay, all looks good. Just press continue. There are two plans, paid plan and free plan. I don't have any plan to buy this paid one, so I'll go with the free plan and just click on create organization. It has created the organization and this repository I need. Okay, this repository I need, and then I'll click on setup, and now it is preparing the analysis. It will take few minutes, let it complete. Okay, done. So as you can see, our first report has been generated. Okay, our first report has been generated, and there are few things like bugs 0. Okay, code smells are 5, bugs are 0, and most of the things are 0. That's because it's a fresh project and it's a system generated file. We haven't started coding yet, so that's why bugs are 0 and everything is just minimal. But as you can see, the code smell is already 5. Okay, and if I click on that number, I can see, you can see that code smell is 5. There is 1 critical and 4 major. Okay, and these are the files which has code smells. And SonarCloud, looks like SonarCloud is not very happy with few of the things, like remove this commented out code, remove this commented out code. Okay, these things, unexpected empty source. So that and this is for app component CSS. That means in our project one CSS file is there which is empty. Let's cross check that, app CSS, and that's empty. Yeah, see, that's why Sonar is required, that's why Sonar is complaining. He's not very happy with all these things. But right now if I try to compile my Angular project, compiler will not complain about anything. It's compiling, let it complete. See, compiled successfully. So for compiler it's not a problem, but for Sonar it's a no-go. So that's why we need SonarCloud, and these things will definitely going to affect the quality of our code. Okay, unexpected empty method print, so these things we have to remove. But notice one thing, it's a fresh project, we haven't touched any of the file there, but still it is complaining. Where it is coming from? As you can see, these files are system generated. Okay, everything is system generated, and these are the files for I'm talking about Angular project in particular. These are the files which will be updated by the system Angular CLI automatically as we start coding. Okay, I don't know the implementation, I do not have the I don't know the implementation and I don't know how it works. Okay, so it will be updated automatically. What we can do, so in this case, what we can do, we can just tell Sonar to ignore these files. I'll show you how to ignore these files later in this video itself. But first, let me give you a quick overview. Let me give you a quick walkthrough of this screen. So here it says, okay, here it says main, because there is only one branch right now. So later when we create other branches and raise PR from them, those branches will start appearing here as a drop down item, here itself, okay, as a drop down item. And this way, and this page will show the reports for that particular branch only. But right now we have only main branch and it is showing you the report for main only. So we'll create branches and see how Sonar works. But first we'll do something about this code smell. Okay, let's go back to the code. Okay, as I said, these are just system generated files. Angular CLI system will automatically update these files. I don't know its implementation, so I'll just ignore these files. For that, I'll create one file here, new file. Okay, and the file name will be .sonarcloud .properties. Okay, I'm creating this file at the root level only, and here this will go sonar dot exclusions is equals to no double quotes. So here we can decide, here we can list down all the files and folders that we want Sonar to ignore. So the first thing, let's get the list first, where it is complaining. It is complaining for E2E protector. This is fine, we'll use this. Environment files, polyfills, that's okay, we'll just include these files. First thing, src polyfills, comma, polyfills.ts, and then other is source, environments, and everything that goes inside environment, I'll just select everything. And E2E, it is also complaining for E2E. And everything that goes inside Z2E. And the last thing that I want to ignore is node modules. So if you are using Java or any other project like React or anything, then you know what to ignore. I'm doing it for Angular only. Save the file. Along with this, Sonar was also complaining about an empty CSS file here. This component CSS. Okay, it is also complaining for this empty CSS file. So we have two solutions here. I can simply delete it if it's not required, but I prefer putting some styles and make some use of it. Okay, I'll go to the CSS. First I'll go to HTML and I'll give it a class. Class is equals to, let's say, heading, and then I'll make use of this CSS. Color red, that's it. Okay, save this file also. Compiled successfully. Now let's just push the code. Git status, git add, git commit, or I can just put the message as fix code smells. Git push. the code has been pushed. Notice that I am pushing the code with main only, with this main branch only I push the code. I am doing this because by convention the branch that triggered code smell should provide the fix also. Let me give some more details here. I followed this convention because SonarCloud scans every new branch separately. So you may not see some code smell in subsequent branches NPRs because those code smells were created by some other branches before them. What I'm trying to say is that same code smell may be inherited in subsequent branches. It may exist in subsequent branches, but Sonar will not complain because those code smells do not originally belong to those PRs. That's why I always try to provide the fix for the code smells using that particular branch only, then and there itself. So once this is done, save your changes and then you can just push the code. So we have pushed the code now. We'll go back to the Sonar and let's see what it has to say now. I'll go back to Sonar and yeah, it got refreshed by itself. As you can see, the code smells are gone. There is no code smell. That's why it is saying we couldn't find any results matching selected criteria, and the code smell became 0. Nothing is critical, nothing is major, nothing is minor. Everything looks good, and we'll go to the overview. Everything looks good. Okay, so that's how Sonar works. Now what I'll do, I'll create a new branch and I'll push a new component with that branch and also introduce some code smells with it. Then let's see how Sonar responds to it. So I'll go back to the GitHub. Okay, I'll create one more branch. Let's say add hello world. Okay, this is it. I'll just create it here. The branch has been created. Now I'll go back to the terminal, do a git pull, git checkout 1-add hello world, switch to this branch. I'll go back to the VS Code. Here it is also reflecting the same branch. Okay, I don't need these files. I'll just close all, and as usual I'll create one more component, ng, with the usual command ng-gc hello world. Press enter and it has created one more component. Okay, what I'll do here, I'll add some code smells. I'll add one empty CSS. Okay, that is already added. One empty CSS. I'll leave it like this only. Okay, I'll create one empty constructor. I think it should be there. Yeah, one empty constructor. I'll leave it like this. One empty ng on init lifecycle hook. I'll leave it like this, and I'll introduce some variables. Let's say let my name is equals to Tanzil. Okay, I'll create one method. That variable I'll not use anywhere. I'll create one method first. I'll add some code here where a is equals to, let's say 2, where b is equals to 4, where c is equals to a plus b. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just copy paste the same logic in 4 methods. I'll rename them. See, compiler is already complaining about this. Not the compiler, I mean this VS Code is already complaining about this. And then 4th. Save the code. Let's run it now. Let's see what compiler has to say about this. Compiling. Okay, it got compiled successfully, and it got compiled successfully because compiler will never complain about these things, because I'm not violating any core programming rule. I'm not violating any Angular rule. Why will it complain? So that's why it got compiled. But I'm sure Sonar will not be very happy with this, with these pieces of code. Okay, these code will make our code base dirty. Okay, they are not required. These methods are just like that only. They are not even being called. This variable is not even being called, and there is a code duplicacy. See, same logic has been pushed again and again. So these are the code smells, and I'm sure Sonar will not be very happy with this. So let's now push the code and raise the PR. But before that, I just want to do one thing. I want to open Sonar and GitHub side by side. Let me do that first. Okay, what is this? Okay, bro, I got it. Okay, and right now we have only one branch, and this is our GitHub. Let it be like this. Now I'm going to push the code. I'll do it from the VS Code itself. Okay, let me minimize this. Close this. Get status. Okay. Add git commit -m. Added one more component. I'll just leave it like this comp. Okay, and then do a git push. Code has been pushed successfully. Just minimize this. As you can see, GitHub has detected it, but not Sonar. Okay, I'll refresh Sonar once, but Sonar has not detected it because we haven't raised any PR yet. Sonar works on PR, not on the branches. Okay, so it is still on main, and there's only one branch, that is main. Now I'll compare and create a pull request. Okay, I'll create the pull request. Let it run, and here you can see that plus sign has been changed to this thing, and now one more branch you can see here, and it is in progress. Let's see what happens here. This may take a while, and it got failed as expected. And the moment it got filled, here GitHub also got refreshed. Not refreshed, I mean it got reinitialized, saying that some checks were not successful. Okay, and here you can see what has failed after 23 seconds. Quality gate has failed. You can see the details also, why it is failed, and it will take you to this detail page. See, here it is saying this rating has failed. You have got B. Maintainability rating on new code is worse than A, and you have 10 code smells. So that's what I was talking about. SonarCloud compiler will pass everything, but SonarCloud won't allow you to merge your pull request until and unless you solve these code smells. So that's how it enforces us to maintain a cleaner code base. Okay, so there's no point in rerunning it, though those things are not resolved yet. I'll go back. See, it won't allow us to. But right now, as you can see, I can still merge the pull request. That's because I am the owner, I am the administrator, I am the one who created the project, I am the admin of GitHub also, and this SonarCloud also, and this is my project. So I am allowed to push it without I am allowed to push the code avoiding these checks. But generally what will happen if someone else, you maybe your team member who is pushing the code, he won't be allowed to merge the pull request. Okay, without I have the admin rights, that's why I am able to make the pull request. But Sonar and Git both will complain. Okay, now what can be done? I'll check this branch, and as you can see, it has failed. So that's what I was saying, that it runs on all the branches separately. If I go back to the branch, the report will be different. See, here it is passing and everything is U0, but if I switch to this branch, the report will be different. Okay, and you may not see code smell of one PR into another PR. Okay, because those were coming from some other PR, that's why. Okay, so maintainability is B. Now let's go there and see what it is complaining. See, it's complaining about an empty CSS as expected, unexpected empty constructor. So Sonar is not very happy about this empty constructor, ng on init, variable C, code duplication. everything it is complaining. See, here it is saying update this function so that its implementation is not identical to one on the line 17. Here also, here also. So code duplication also it is checking. So 8 are major, 2 are critical. Now it's our responsibility to resolve these bugs. I'll go back to the VS Code. Okay. What I can do, I can just remove these methods. They are not called, including this unused variable and this empty constructor and lifecycle ng on init. Remove, and with that I'll have to remove this implementation also. Once removed, I have to remove ng on init also, because it's an unused import. Sonar will again complain about this. Your compiler will not do anything, but your SonarCloud will definitely complain about this unused import. So again you will get a code smell. We'll remove everything from here and I'll save the code. Okay, one more thing was there, that CSS thingy. I'll add one file, let's say I'll add one class, I'll call it my head. Then this thing, my hyphen head, let the color be red. Okay, one last time I just want to check the compilation thing also. Okay, done. Compile successfully. Git status, git add, git commit. I'll call it fix sonar code smells, then git push. Git push, I'll minimize this. Code has been pushed. Okay, see, the moment I push the code, GitHub got resolved, but I think I'll go back to the SonarCloud and this should run. This should run. Let me refresh it once more and see why it is stuck. Okay, it has. Okay, analysis. Okay, I didn't see this thing. Analysis is in progress. This can take up to 30 minutes. That's okay. So analysis is in progress right now, and we could not find any results matching the selected criteria. That means there are no code smells. Code smell is 0. No issues. Hooray. That is fine. But why it is saying failed? It should not say failed. Okay, I think it did not get update there, but here it is saying now passed. Okay, it got passed also. Some refresh issue maybe. Anyway, so new bugs are 0, vulnerabilities are 0, security hotspot 0, new code smell 0, duplicacy 0. Everything looks good. Okay, this has passed, and with that our PR is also passed. And if I scroll down, there are no code smells. See, everything is okay. Here it is showing kudos, SonarCloud quality gate passed, and all checks have been passed successful. Now I'm ready to merge my pull request. Confirm merge. Merged. So that's how SonarCloud works. That's how it enforces us to follow the best practices. So that's all what I had for today, guys. So that's how SonarCloud helps us to maintain a clean code base. You can enhance, add, remove sonar checks. That will cover in the next videos, but that's all for today. So please ask your doubts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video, guys. See you in the next video. Happy coding.